It's Tuesday stitch time. Grab your hook and yarn. We're making something cozy, cute and warm. New stitch, new trick, let's learn today. Easy steps, I'll guide the way. Whether you're new or stitching pro, come along, let's hook and go.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pseudo's Crochet More. This is your host, Crystal. Today is stitch tutorial day, and today's stitch is the single crochet V-stitch. Now, I did work up a sample using the Premier Basic DK Multi in the color Lifeguard, and this is what it looks like worked up in that color. Now, I am going to be using a thicker yarn. It is a no longer available. It was clearanced out from Michaels. It is their Loops and Threads Eco Cozy. It's a 100% recycled yarn, a polyester yarn, and I will be using that. I did use a 4mm crochet hook with this particular yarn because it is a DK, and it's actually a little thinner from what some people are saying than the regular DK, Premier Basics DK without the multi. So, but it worked up pretty good with that. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and get the yarn that I'm going to be using for today's tutorial. This is an easy one row repeat. It is reversible, so it doesn't matter what side you leave as the main side. If you want to add a border to it, whatever you're making, it can be used either way. So it is a very versatile pattern because it doesn't matter which way it's facing. It'll look the same on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead. The stitch multiple is 3 plus 3. So I'm going to go ahead and chain up 27. So it's going to be a multiple of 3, 8 of the 3 plus 3, which is 27. So I'm going to do that here real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. All right. Now that I have my 27, and I try not to talk while I'm doing that. I know a lot of people will just stop and then start it when they're done with making the 27, but I like to show that. If you want to double count how many chains you have, you can start at the end and go up to the top, the one that's right below the one on the hook. That is your last chain. So to start row 1, we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So we're going to insert our hook into that second chain, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. There's the first stitch. Now, in the next stitch, we're going to start the single crochet V-stitch. And I do apologize. Hold on a second. Work-related stuff popping up on my screen. No fun. All right. Then in the next stitch, or chain, we're going to single crochet, chain 2, and then single crochet back into that same chain space. And that's your first single crochet V-stitch. Now, it's not going to look like much with the first row, but as you grow your rows, it will start to take, you'll start to notice the difference. All right. Now we're going to skip 2 chains. So skip 1, two, and into the next one we're going to do another single crochet V-stitch. So you insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through two. Chain two. 1, 2. Now we're going to go back into that same chain and single crochet again. I've been doing so many doubles, sorry about that. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through two. And that's the second one. Then we're going to skip another 2 chains and into the third, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Go back in there, and that's the end of the repeat until you get down to the very last 3 chains. 1, 2, into this one. So if you want to meet me back down at the end or just listen to me talk, that's fine. I was hoping to get this done Saturday or yesterday, but yesterday we wound up having to take my mother-in-law to the hospital. Luckily, she didn't have to stay. They sent her home with some antibiotics. So that was a fun 4 hours in the ER. I do have some unbagging tomorrow for the Mary Maxim Afghan Club. I know that I'm still working on that one that I actually have shown you guys. Some of these patterns, though, I don't know if I'm going to actually do or not from them, so I might just use the yarn for something else. I'm kind of hoping that this one that I got for July has something to do with July 4th on it, with it. My yarn's just not cooperating with me here. Okay. It fell on the floor and... All right. Let's get back to the crochet here. Skip 1, 2 into the next one. Single crochet, chain 2, single crochet onto the same chain space. This, like I said, this is a very versatile stitch. And I know some people don't like to do the single crochet stuff, but sometimes it does give it a little extra. Even though it takes for freaking ever to do, sometimes it's just worth it. So, all right. Chain 2 into the next one. All right, and then we're down to our last 3 chain spaces. So we're going to skip the next 2, and into the last one, we're just going to place 1 single crochet. So no V-stitch here, it's just a single crochet. All right, and that completes row 1. So depending on how many multiples of 3 you did, depends on how many V-stitches you'll have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you did the 8, if you did more, obviously you'll have more of them. But once you get down to your last single crochet, you'll go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. This is row 2. This is the repeat row. All right, now we're going to single crochet into the very first single crochet. So we're not skipping this. That chain 1 does not count as anything. So we're just going to go into the first single crochet and single crochet. Then we're going to jump over to the chain 2 space. You may have to feel around for it because depending on the thickness of your yarn, you may not be able to see it very well, even though it is a chain 2 space. And in that chain 2 space, we're going to do a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. So we're going to insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Chain 2, 1, 2. Insert our hook back into that chain 2 space, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. And that's the repeat all the way down to the very last stitch. So now we're going to skip over to the next chain 2 space, insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn, chain 2, 1, 2, insert our hook into the next stitch, or not the next stitch, into that same chain space. Rewind, to forget that I said that, into the same chain space. You'll do another single crochet after your chain 2. We're going to skip over to the next chain 2 space and put another single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into that same chain space. If you've ever used the single crochet V-stitch, what have you made with it? Let me know in the comment section. I haven't made anything yet with it, but that doesn't mean I won't in the future. All right. Chain 2. Back into that same chain 2 space to single crochet again. Find your next chain 2 space. I kind of like that there's a chain 2 after the single. It kind of gives it a little bit more character to the stitch. Almost like a picot design, but it's not really a picot. All right, into the next chain 2 space. Single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. All right, we're getting down to the last 2 from row 1. And I'll show you how to end this row. Okay, there's that one. And this one kind of sits a little off to the side here. Just make sure you don't miss that. This is the last chain 2 space. We're going to, if my hook will let me, going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 2, single crochet one more time into that space. And then you're like, okay, now what do we do? Now what we do is on the side here, you're going to have your turning chain and the top of your first single crochet for row 1. We're going to go into that stitch, which is this one here. It's on the side. Make sure to grab both loops. Pull up a loop. Well, pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2. Just putting one single crochet at the start and end of every row. And that's the end of row 2. Row 3 will be the exact same thing. Chain 1. Turn your work. And insert do one single crochet into the very first stitch, which was your last single crochet for row 2. And then you'll skip over to the chain 2 space and do single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. And repeat this down to the last stitch, or last chain 2 space. And I'll show you how to end this row. Again, you might have to feel around for that chain 2 space depending on what type of yarn you're using. I think it's going to be any type of yarn, but I'm just saying that because some yarns it might be easier to see that space, and some yarns that might not be so easy. into the next one right here. One and two. Yeah, come back tomorrow for the unbagging of the Mary Maxim Afghan kit. Afghan club. I get an Afghan kit every 3 months. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing it. I think it all depends on what I get in this month's. I've been doing it for almost a year now, and there's only been one that I've really kept working at, so I'm really hoping that this one has something to do with the 4th of July, but we'll see. Or even, you know, with the 250th birthday of America, North America. All right, I got 2 more V-stitches to do. I'm going to try to show this a little closer for you. So there's my first V-stitch or single crochet, chain 2, and then right back into that same chain 2 space to do 1 more single crochet. Now we're at the end here, the last one. Sometimes you have to separate the singles because the legs of the singles kind of get close to each other, so you got to be careful with that. I've split single crochets by not paying attention to that by accident, so it can happen. All right, now we're at the last one. Now at the end, as I mentioned, it ends and starts and ends with 1 single crochet. To find that single crochet, you'll want to skip this one because this is the part of the V-stitch. You'll go into the next one, and if you need to, you may have to turn your work to see that. Make sure you get both loops. And that's the end of row 3. And it's just a repeat, back and forth, back and forth. And it probably would look a lot better with a variegated or self-striping yarn because you'll be able to see those V-stitches more. But you can tell that there's a little, like, nice little mountain happening at the top of those because you're chaining 2 for in between the single crochet stitches. Again, this is what it would look like if you used the Premier Basic Multi. Now, again, this is a shorter sample. If you made it longer, wider, the pattern would look different with using this. If you're using, you know, say, I don't know, let me think here. No, that doesn't. Okay, so say you did the 30 or 33 stitches and then added the 3, your coloring would be a lot different than this one because this is just a swatch just to show you what it would look like worked up in this one. But that is the single crochet V-stitch. Again, very versatile, only 1 row repeat. If I had used probably the 6.5, it probably wouldn't have these holes at the very bottom. But as you can see, this is a nice tight stitch. So the regular, or the double crochet V-stitch, you have a lot more holes. Half double crochet is a little bit tighter, but this is even tighter than that because you're only doing single crochet. The only spot that it might be a little loose is on the bottom with the starting chain. But otherwise, it's a pretty cool stitch. I haven't made anything with it just yet. Who knows, in the future, I might make something with it. My brain is on blankets right now, and I don't know why. I really don't. Because I have to finish that. I should finish that one that I've been working on from Mary Maxim from the last, no, not the last, the one before the last, with the ripple style blanket. And I do like it, but I'm kind of getting bored because it's not a whole lot of color. It's one main color, and an accent color. And that, it's been driving me crazy lately. And I don't know why, but that's just what it's been doing to me. So I've been verting off to, here, I'll show you a sneak sample. Now, this isn't exactly how it's going to look on my other one, but this is what I've been working on. It's not quite a round blanket. It's more square, in my opinion. But this is what I've been working on. I have another yarn that I'm using that's just changing on its own. It's the Rave from Big Twist, and I'm calling it the Cotton Candy Blanket or Blanket Stitch because of how it works up. It makes these little puffs look like cotton candy puffs, if you want to say. But I have been working on other things. But yeah, tomorrow, check back tomorrow if you're interested to see what I got in July's Mary Maxim Afghan Club kit for this month. Who knows? That might inspire me for something else. I don't know. But yeah, and you'll get to see my face tomorrow. It's been a long time since you guys have actually seen my face. I know some people probably don't care about seeing my face, and I don't care one way or the other, but I'm opening up a bag. So, and the following day, I will have this month's Crochet Nation newspaper. I'm still waiting on June's. If I don't get June before the end of the month, I'm going to be canceling that subscription because this is the second time it's happened. The first time I got it like a day or two before that next month's came. This time I got this month, but I didn't get last month. And that to me is not very good customer service. It really isn't. Last time they put it in an envelope. I don't know what they did this time, if they did the same thing or not, but I guess we'll find out, because if by August, by like the 31st or whatever August, I don't get that one, yeah, I'll be definitely canceling it. I mean, it's a great newspaper. There's nothing wrong with the newspaper, but if I cannot guarantee consistency with delivery, and I know it's not totally their fault, it's the mail service, the post office, what have you. Somebody else is getting it and they don't care because maybe they're a crocheter. Like, hey, I got something for free. I don't know. If I got something for from somebody else's mail, I've delivered it personally to them. I've gone and said, hey, this accidentally wound up in my mailbox instead of yours. And it's a cop's house. So, but nevertheless, if you want to see what I got in Mary Maxim's Afghan Club for July, come back tomorrow, same time, 9 a.m., and see what I got. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for today, because this is a very simple one-row repeat. I'm not going to make this too long of a video, hopefully. Well, this is not too bad right this minute. I thought it was longer than that. I've started and restarted this so many times, it was driving me nuts. But nevertheless, yeah. So check back tomorrow. And Thursday, I'll have that Crochet Nation newspaper overview for the month of July. And maybe before Friday, I'll get June's and we can have a back-to-back with that. I don't know. We'll see where it's at by then. All right. Well, if you've ever used this stitch, let me know in the comment section. What did you make with it? Have you used it more than once? What yarn did you use? Did you kind of do what I did with the solid? Or did you use a self-striping variegated yarn? And yeah, just let me know. I like to know what you guys think. I don't mind comments. Just keep them nice. No negative comments. Because if you do, I'll have to kick you off. But I don't very rarely get any comments. So when I do, I'm happy about that. If you like today's video, please give me a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content and haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe and then the notification bell so you're always aware of when I put out new content. Until next time, I hope you all stay safe, stay warm or cool, and happy crocheting. Bye-bye.